evening, Australia.
Hello. It is evening. I should be going to bed, but I'm up because you've just woken up, so I have to be up.
That's right. Yeah, yeah. That's the only way we can tell what time it is if you're going to bed, I'm getting up.
Yeah, exactly. How are you today?
I'm wonderful. How are you?
Yeah, good. I've had a lovely day. Tomorrow's a holiday in our state, so I'm looking forward to a sleep in.
Oh, well, what holiday is it?
Well, it's the Melbourne Cup. It's like a holiday for a horse race.
Oh,
It's kind of
I'll
it's a
take
bit
it.
bizarre.
Any day you can
We'll
have a
take
holiday is a
we'll
good
take
day.
any holiday.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Chris, tell us about our show today. Where are we going?
Well, this wonderful iridologist I met on the Gold Coast, and she's on the other side of Australia, like 3 hour time difference away.
Wow.
So come on down, Nadia. She's in a place called Exmouth.
There we go. Hi,
It is.
Nadia.
And do you know where Exmouth is, Kathy?
No, I have no idea.
Oh, you've got to look it up on the map. There's amazing. You can go there and swim with whale sharks.
No way.
You can.
Have you done that?
I haven't done that. No.
Yeah,
Have you done that,
I've done it a
Nadia?
few times. Yeah, yeah.
Let's
You
put that
can-
one on our bucket list.
Yeah, it's so worth it. Yeah.
Is it? Is it? Oh,
You can
well, great.
basically swim with big three, so you can also swim with humpback whales during the season.
Wow.
So yeah, the tour operators have gotten a license to allow people to go and swim with the humpbacks. And if you're lucky, you may even encounter some manta rays. So you'll be able to swim with the big three here in Exmouth.
Wow.
Dingaloo Reef. It's beautiful. It's a fringing reef, so you can snorkel right off the beach. You're unlikely to swim, with whale sharks and humpbacks and
Yeah.
manta rays on the beach.
Yeah.
That's what the tour operators are good for. They have a spotter plane that goes up in the air where you can go, where they spot those beautiful animals, and then they coordinate that with the skippers, and then they drop you right in front of those beautiful animals so they can swim alongside either a whale shark, a humpback whale, or manta ray, depending on which tour you're on.
Yeah,
Australia is a paradise. It really,
it
really
is.
is.
You've
It's
got to
a
move here.
yes.
You know how I feel about that. My bags
yeah,
are
it's-
packed and ready to go.
I met
Yeah.
Nadia back in 2019 on the Gold Coast conference, and we've been sort of Facebook friends ever since as well. And she's been doing amazing work in iridology, so that's why I invited her to talk to us today.
Oh, awesome. Well,
You start us off, Kathy.
well, I would love to know how long you've been an iridologist.
So I've been an iridologist since the start of the year. I've enrolled in 2019 when I went to the Gold Coast and met all you beautiful fellow iridologists, and that's when I signed up for the course. And I was very motivated, and I was determined to do it within 6 months or within a year. And the following, I think within the next 4 or 5 months, in April 2020 is when I fell pregnant. And that kind of put that a little bit to a hold. I was also working for a very busy health coach at the time, so my priorities shifted a little bit back then. But I never lost focus. I always knew that I'm going to complete the course, and because I'm passionate and super interested in it, I just knew that I'll just put that on hold and I'll pick it up again. And in the meantime, obviously giving birth, becoming a new mum, all of that took time as well for me to get used to. In the meantime, we also bought a restaurant, or my husband bought a restaurant.
Wow.
Which we then sold again because of everything that went on in the world. And so I've gone a little off track, and then I did find myself back on track again, and now I'm doing what I love doing the most. So yeah, since the start of the years is when I became a certified iridologist.
Fabulous. And you did Tony Miller's course, didn't you?
I did Tony's course, and I absolutely loved it. She's just
that's fantastic.
all of her work is absolutely beautiful. Highly recommended.
Yeah, great. Well done. And what inspired you to be to want to be an iridologist?
So I started researching holistic modalities back in 2015 because a family member of mine was diagnosed with an incurable brain tumor, which was quite a shock for the entire family. And back then I was
Wow.
sort of looking for like a magic cure or like some sort of advancement in science that could help and support my family member. And that's when I sort of gone down the rabbit hole of, holistic health. And it's always led me back to making positive lifestyle changes. And prevention is better than cure, of course. And
Absolutely.
I then eventually came across Tyler Tolman, who's a health guru that I got inspired by, and he started talking about iridology, which really interested me. And he was sort of referencing Dr. Bernard Jensen's work. And I straight away got onto his book, bought myself a camera, which I thought was a professional camera, which later I figured out is sort of a skin camera, but it does the trick, or did the trick back then to, continue to spark my interest and to kind of play around with it a little bit. And I read the entire book of Bernard Jensen. I really loved it. And I thought that was it. I thought I already knew everything. And it seems to be quite common in the iridology world that people feel drawn to his work because he's got such a beautiful holistic approach with it all. And and then I was encouraged to go to the other side of Australia, to the Gold Coast, attend the Iridology Symposium, and that's when I got blown away with the things that I didn't know about. And that's when I decided to do the course and take it to the next level, because it was very intriguing. And that's how it all started. It was a process, wasn't just an overnight thing. It was just me researching, and it all kind of led me back to prevention being better than cure. That then led me to research iridology, and that in return is what's gotten me onto this path. And I've been able to modalities for my own personal health benefits, as well as the benefits of my family.
Excellent.
And did you come to the Gold Coast from Exmouth?
I came all the way. I did come all the way from Exmouth. Yes, it was a big trip.
That's a long way.
Yeah, I then flew out to. I combined it. I did fly out to Bali after, and then I did a trip to Germany. Then I went to India because my husband's from India. So I combined it all, but it was a big trip back then. And I'm so glad I did it, because as we know, shortly after, the world kind of stopped and travel was put on hold. So I'm glad I did all of that.
And so now you're working as an iridologist health coach.
That's right. Yes. Yeah.
Cool.
So I am still figuring out and testing out the waters. It took me a while to just overcome my own, my own limitations, and putting myself out into this little community here. But I started immediately after I finished my certification. I went out and set up a little stall at the local markets, and I've got such positive feedback from everyone. I have people come and tell me that iridologists were the only people ever been able to figure out what was wrong with them, or with what was wrong with a family member of theirs. So I've only gotten very positive feedback from everyone. That really
That's great. And I recently listened to your iridology webinar, which was wonderful.
Oh, thank you. Yes. Yeah.
Awesome.
So I'm just putting more and more of those webinars together. It's a good learning for people to come and listen, but also for myself, just to help solidify the things that I've learned, and working with people, also getting that practical experience, of course, with people as well.
Great. So many good things happen at symposiums. We have a renewed spirit. We have these wonderful friendships that are lifelong and lasting. We can connect with other iridologists around the world. We can get their input. We can give input, get feedback. It's so wonderful. And we just get this renewed sense of inspiration, and it just lights your fire to go out there and just conquer conquer iridology if you
Yeah.
can, and see as many eyes as you can. So I know that IPA has one coming up in February of 2023. So, you know, I hope to be a part of it again. And Chris, I know you're speaking, and Nadja, I hope you're in attendance as well. But
I'd love to, absolutely.
we just love our symposiums. This is what keeps us going. What keeps us going.
Absolutely.
It was absolutely mind-blowing. It was the best thing ever. And I really love the work that IPA does in bringing us iridologists together and giving us a unified voice, and also sort of cutting through the misinformation.
Yes.
Because we've got to, you know, we've got to do the right thing, got to do and say the right things with people. And I just know where I've come from, thinking I already knew everything, to then having my mind completely blown away with everything that I've learned, and then also accepting that and allowing that to, you know, going through that paradigm shift and allowing that to happen. It's been a big thing. I almost felt like that I was a little bit arrogant, even thinking I knew just everything. I just, you know, just go there because I can and because it's interesting. But it was just so mind-blowing, and I'm so glad that I've went and that I've opened my heart and my mind to be able to learn from all those beautiful iridologists that I've met in person. It was such a pleasure to meet Dr. Alan Jensen, and Tony is just on fire. Like when she presented her presentation, it was just wonderful. Chris's had a presentation, it was just amazing. So I just loved it so much. My heart after, I was buzzing, and it's just wonderful. I'm so glad I didn't miss out on that.
So with all the eyes that you've seen, you surely have a favorite, or surely you have a favorite marking or an eye type. So can you tell us what that might be?
Yeah, so one of the markets, I had a lady approaching me, and from afar already saw the difference in color in one of her eyes, and turned out to be a sectoral heterochromia. So I was really, really fascinated by it, and I was so happy that she came over and allowed me to take a photo of her eye or eyes. And I've took the perfect picture of it as well with my beautiful, really professional camera. And we've had that chat about the genetic predispositions linked to a sectoral heterochromia, which in this case was the liver. And she completely related to everything that I had to say. She actually once turned yellow, her entire body turned yellow. And it was just so amazing. It was so powerful for me to be able to identify that from afar already, and to be 100% spot on with everything that I've had to share with her. And she's gotten a lot out of that, you know, conversation that we've had. Just knowing, okay, this is obviously something that she's been born with. It's not something that she's created, but what she does, what she do with what she gets, and helping her to understand it, how she eats, drinks, live, love, things, that all matters in terms of whether she's going to activate any of those genetic predispositions. And she obviously wasn't aware of it, and that's why she already ran into issues in the past. And just to be able to have that conversation with people and to have an impact upon their approaches, future approaches when it comes towards their health. That's been just amazing. I really love that. That's why I picked that.
Oh, that's great.
Awesome.
I love that. There's just one thing, Nadja, I need to share with you. I see behind you, you have your lighted diffuser behind you.
Yes.
I have the same one about 3 feet away from me.
Oh, so wonderful.
I have the same one in my office as well. So you and I share the same diffuser.
There you go. I'm diffusing lang. What are you diffusing at the moment?
Yeah. What am I diffusing? I always diffuse Northern Lights by Young Living. The black spruce. The black spruce.
Yeah.
One of the highest vibrational oils on the planet. And so I gain so much from that. It keeps me well.
I'm diffusing a lang at the moment.
Are you? Yeah, that's a little bit of a sweeter oil. Beautiful oil as well, though. Great.
I really love sandalwood.
Oh, yes. Yes,
it is beautiful.
I do too.
Yeah, absolutely.
One of my faves. One of my faves. Well, Nadja, we play a
Cool.
little game here where we have you pick a number between 1 and 36. We're going to ask you kind of just an off the chart question because it's on a chart. And so by picking that number, we'll just draw a question at random.
Okay, sounds great.
Go ahead.
13.
13. Let me get 13 for you.
Magic number.
Here we go. Here we go. Oh, I think this is a new question. I don't believe we've had this one before. What 3 things do you think is important for a newly certified iridologist to have when starting their practice?
Oh, this is perfect for you.
Practice. Okay, 3 things. An open mind.
Right.
Yeah. Practice, of course. Courage to put yourself out there into the world. To be able to talk about what's important, what's the things that you're passionate about, and good one. What could be the third one? Open mind, courage to follow your heart and passion, and yeah, I'll probably stick with those 2. I feel like that kind of covers it.
Perfect. You know what comes to my mind is a good education and patience.
Absolutely. I totally agree with the good
education. Because you better have a good education before you step out into the world and start presenting yourself as a professional. You don't have to have all of the answers. It's not important to have all of the answers, but if you don't, you need to know where to go and get the answers. So, you want that good support system as well behind you. So your education, your support system, and then patience. It's going to take patience to build a business. You don't need to drop everything you've got going and just devote 24 hours to iridology, but you need to steadily touch it every day, love it every day, work on it every day. And before you know it, it's rolling. It's rolling.
Yeah. Absolutely. Really, truly treat it as a business to really make progress. And and that's what I really love about IPA and knowing all of you beautiful iridologists, because I have someone to go to and ask questions. So when I'm unsure, then I can, I have that backup, and then that gives me the courage so that I can go and put myself out there. So when I was learning the Bernard Jensen methodology, and he's obviously the father of iridology, I really wanted to, if I felt if I do get challenged and somebody comes and questions the things that I have to say, I'd like to be able to back myself up and have the resources readily available to say, hey, look, as I say, it's still good to keep an open mind. I'm not saying I have all the answers, but that's sort of the latest research or the latest consensus. That's the latest consensus amongst us iridologists. So it's very, very powerful and important that we do say the right things, and that we, that we give iridology as much credibility as it deserves.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
What do you think,
I'd
Chris?
probably add, like an inquisitive mind, because even though when we first start, there's so much more to learn. Like I'm learning all the time. Every time I listen to a webinar or listen to, I'm learning something, even if it's something that I think I already know. And also the ability to say, I wonder what this sign means to you. And I remember with one of our interviews, there was someone was saying that the deeper the sign, the deeper the lesson even. Like signs can be lessons, it can be a physical manifestation, it can be so many things. So the ability to say, I wonder.
Absolutely. Yeah. And treating the person as a whole. And sometimes it's about, like, we look at the eye photos and we already make up our minds, but once we meet the person, and I'll sit down with the person and ask questions, then that will help us so much more to understand what the sign actually means. So it's one thing to identify the sign itself and look it up in the books, and it's another thing to ask questions, because it could have different meanings, especially when you look up the emotional factors attached to certain aura signs. So it's pretty special when you get that opportunity. I started off just writing reports, but I really liked that human interaction of just really sitting down with the person, going through, asking those questions, and then really understanding what it actually means, because it can differ from person to person as well.
Fabulous. Yeah.
Well, we've had another great session. Just another great iridology around the world is just fabulous. I love meeting some new iridologists and getting to know what makes them tick and makes them love iridology just like we do. Chris, what do you think?
And Kathy, I think this is Nadja's our first one from Western Australia.
I think so.
I'm pretty sure.
I think so.
Awesome.
Well, that's an honor.
That is, and I feel very honored. Thank you so much for thinking of me.
We are so happy to have you.
Thanks for joining us. It was great.
Absolutely.
So great to connect, and I love being in this space. I love seeing you beautiful.
And I think the work you're doing is very inspiring.
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Yes. And the other way around, very inspired by both of your work as well.
Thank you.
So,
thank you. Well, as you guys end your day, I'm going to begin my day, and you know what? We're going to see you again someday. And with that, I wish you a good evening. And
thank you.
We will see you again.
Goodbye to Chris.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Chris.
Bye-bye.